Hello everybody, Molot here, and today I got nothing, so here's some filler cards. All joking aside, everybody, I wanted to show off a little bit of a collection that I have. Top Breaks did a video the other day where he sent out a card and to a player to have it signed, and they returned it to him, and those are pretty cool. I guess they call them the TTM, the Through the Mails, and I've seen a few videos on YouTube recently where people have had some success. I used to do that a long time ago, and I've got a stack of cards here that I actually got back from various players. The first one's actually a baseball card. It's Jim Edmonds. When he was here in St. Louis, absolutely loved Jim Edmonds. He was one of my favorite. Sent him a card. He was nice enough to sign it. He's got an amazing looking autograph too. It almost looks like he writes his name backwards, but it's definitely a Jim Edmonds. Again, none of these have been certified as authentic. I don't know if I would assume all the players signed them and sent them back. I don't know if they've been auto-pinned or not, but just for me, it was really cool, especially growing up, knowing these guys, watching them play. It was just fun to mail something out with a self-addressed stamped envelope, and then, you know, a month or two later, you get it back in the mail and it's signed. So next one up I have is Ryan Miller. I sent this to him when he was here shortly in St. Louis, and he was nice enough to sign that and send it back to me. Kind of a hard autograph to see. And again, you'll notice that most of the cards that I sent out are nothing terribly exciting, mostly lower end stuff, but it was just stuff that I knew would lose value once it's been signed, and not, if it's not a Upper Deck authenticated one. Next one's really cool. This was a Chris Osgood that I sent to him while he was here in St. Louis as well. He was nice enough to sign it, even though he was Detroit Red Wings. Good looking signature. You can definitely read it. Chris Osgood, number 30 there. And then the next was John Van Beesbrook. Sent this to him while he was in Florida. I just really like John Van Beesbrook. Always been a fan. When I played, I was number 34 as well. So I had that in common with him. And that's pretty much about it, because he was much better than I ever was. And then this next one's really cool, because this came from Byron Defoe. Again, I just kind of picked goaltenders that had the number 34 because I'm weird like that. But he actually personalized this one. It says to Mike, Byron Defoe, 34. So I thought that was pretty cool to get back in the collection. And then the next we get into are a lot of the St. Louis Blues guys that I sent out. This one's a Craig Janney. He was here for a long time. He was on a really good line with Brendan Shanahan. And if you know the story behind why Brendan Shanahan got traded, he's kind of the reason behind it. Personal issues. It's fun. You should look that up. It's another St. Louis Blues piece of history that we're not necessarily proud of here, but it's just kind of St. Louis Blues lore. So there's a Craig Janney auto. Next is a Ben Bishop. He signed that for me and sent that back. It's a good looking autograph. I do like his signature. Pretty nice on card there. Big B is on there, and then I guess the back P for Bishop, and then his number there. And then speaking of Brendan Shanahan, he was nice enough to send this one to me. Again, I've had these in my collection for absolute years. I don't remember exactly when I sent them out. Obviously, it probably would have been when they were with the team, so it tells you how old I am and how long I've been doing this. The next is a Pierre Turgeon from SP Authentic. It looks like he really was kind of in a hurry when he wrote, when he did this one. So sorry, the camera's wanting to focus on, it wants to focus on Austin Matthews and Johnny Gaudreau's head there. So I'm going to have to block them out, I think. I don't know, or maybe it's just my eyes are bad today. But next up is Chris Pronger. It's a good looking autograph. That's typically what you see, just a big CP and a G from him on his autographs, and then the 44 that he puts right in the middle there. That was nice. And then we've got Hall of Famer Al MacInnis. And the cool thing about this one is, if for any reason he ever commits a crime and the police need to fingerprint match, I've got his fingerprint right there. So he smudged the autograph a little bit, but you got his fingerprint. So Al MacInnis is still here in St. Louis. He's an advisor to the team. He does a lot of alumni games, and you see him at the rinks all the time as well. He does some coaching for his team, for the junior teams here, so it's really cool to have one of those in the collection. The next wouldn't be a complete St. Louis Blues collection without a Brett Hall. So this one actually got signed in person at an event he was doing at a sporting goods store somewhere here in St. Louis. And it was a good looking card. So Brett Hall, typical big signature of his with number 16 on it. I was happy to have that in my collection. And then the next three I sent out to random players. Didn't expect to get any of these back, but I did. This one is a Mike Modano. So really nice looking signature. He used a real fine point Sharpie on there. I've looked at at first I thought there's no way that's his signature. Then I looked at other stuff that's been certified through like Upper Deck, and it's just pretty standard cursive writing. So Mike Modano, number 9 there. So I was happy to get that one back. And then this one is kind of bittersweet for me. It's a Steve Yzerman, and it's an absolutely great looking signature. He's always got a great looking signature, but the card I sent him it holds a painful spot in any Blues fans, history. If you know what happened on that shot, this was in the playoffs. I believe it was double overtime. That shot went right past Murray Barron, right past his leg, and went upper 90 on John Casey, who was in the net, and then sent them on to I think it was the finals that year. But and then he was all happy and jumping around at the end of that. But just a goal, an iconic goal in Blues history, obviously in Red Wings history. But I thought it was a great looking card. I love the fact that it's signed, and I was happy to get that one back. And then the final card in my through the mail collection that I've been doing for a while. Never expected to get this one back, but this is a Mr. Wayne Gretzky, and it looks amazing. Nice black Sharpie. This was probably the best card I had at the time when I was sending them out of Gretzky, but this one took a while to get back, obviously, but it was super cool when it showed up. Again, I wasn't expecting to get this one back, and again, my camera is not wanting to focus. Come on, focus. There we go. So, but just wanted to throw a video together because I've seen a lot of recent YouTube guys throwing out their through the mail collections, and it's actually surprisingly easy. Back when I was doing this, Beckett, Paper Beckett, the actual magazine that you had to buy before they had the internet, because I'm old, used to give listings of teams' mailing addresses, so you could send cards and fan letters that way. I don't know if they still do that online or how they do it, but you could probably send it to the corporate office and they'd get it to the players eventually. But it's really cool. My advice is always send a self-addressed stamped envelope with the card that you're getting signed, and just a little letter, hey, big fan, please sign and return. And typically they do. So I've only been snubbed by a few players, and I don't know if it's just they got lost in the mail or just never came back, or I don't know, but my success rate was about 80% when I was doing this. So it's a lot of fun. It's, obviously it's doing it for the personal collection. You're not really probably going to be able to turn around and sell these unless you get them authenticated. But I have no plans of doing these. These are going to stay with me for a very long time. But again, I just saw Top Breaks doing it the other day because he showed a video of it. And I thought it was kind of cool, so I wanted to show off my collection. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed yet, please do so if you like the content that I'm putting out there. I do have a retail box of 2019, 2020 Series 2 coming up soon. I'm looking again for the Klim Kostins or the Elvis Merzlikins. Plus, this has the 94, 95 die-cut rookie sets, similar to the old SP that they did for Series 1, which was really neat as well. So I'll be opening up this very soon and getting a video on there. But again, I want to thank you all very much for watching. I appreciate it, and we will catch you on the next one.